this video, I just want to give y'all advice. Not really advice, but a peace of mind, man. Whatever you do in life, no matter what you do, nothing's gonna be handed to you. You gonna have people in life that support you. You gonna have people in life that, you know, they're gonna understand what you're trying to do. But at the end of the day, nothing's gonna be given to you. You probably go on Instagram, YouTube, or any social media site, and you see all these big name people, celebrities, or people with big followers, and you want them to follow you. You might DM somebody and you say, hey, I want to promote this for you. Or you say, hey, I want to collab or whatever. You email them, you get in contact with their team. And a lot of them, they either not going to hit you back, or they're going to watch you, but they're not going to respond. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to get at is, don't be discouraged if your favorite celebrities, YouTubers, things like that, people you watch, if they don't respond, don't get upset. Because at least you know they watching you. Like, they might like a comment, they might see a message, they might, whatever they do, at least you know you're watching. Then as you grow, as you become more in tune with your skill set, in tune with your business, things like that, that's when you start getting the responses. That's when people start reaching out to you. Because at the end of the day, people want to know that you're serious about your craft. That's with any craft. Like, in the beginning, you're not going to have all the support. People are not going to support you, reach out to you, things like that. But as long as you keep putting in the work, they're going to see you one day. They might not see you now, but they're going to see you one day. You feel me? And you just have to stay consistent, stay locked in. Long as you consistent, and as long as you locked in, and you keep doing the same routines, and you stay focused, you have a work-life balance, things like that. Long as you do that, you're good. You always gonna have people that's gonna hate. You always gonna have people that's not gonna agree with your journey, that's not gonna agree with your mindset, that's not gonna see the end result. Like, you'll see it, but at the end of the day, that's your result. You feel me? At the end of the day, that's you. So, and the reason why I'm saying this is because I was like that at one point. In the beginning, I would make videos, I would tag people, things like that. I message people, like, for the promotions and things like that, and no one would respond. Nobody would like my comments. Nobody would interact with me. So I was like, all right, you know what? I just started. Like, this is the beginning of my journey. Like, we got to remember that as well. Like, when we just starting, we just starting. You got to think, when you first start something, you could quit in the beginning. Like, you could quit. You could stop doing it. You gotta actually put time in. You gotta put work in, especially when you're doing YouTube. When you're doing YouTube, you gotta keep dropping these videos, because your videos are your catalog. So when somebody does see you that's at a higher point than you, or that has more subs or more followers or whatever, when they do look at your page and they see you working, you might not have the same amount of followers and attention and subscribers, but you have all them videos, you have your catalog. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they could look at. And with your catalog, it shows you your progress. It shows where you started to where you're going. So as long as you have this catalog, and as long as you keep grinding, and as long as you're getting interactions from people, whether it's good or bad, they're going to see you. They might not comment off the jump, but they're going to see you. And then eventually, you're going to find yourself at events. You're gonna find yourself in these rooms with these people that you were once looking up to, and that's when they tell you, hey, I've been watching you for this long. I remember seeing this video from when you started here. Keep doing your thing. And that's when you know all that hard work paid off. But in the beginning, you gotta remember, like, it's the beginning. So Like I said, everybody not gonna show you love. Everybody not gonna respond to you. Everybody not gonna like, subscribe, things like that. Everybody not gonna follow you. Even with me, like, and I'm not trying to make this about me, but even with me, like, when I first started, like, I ain't had nobody liking my videos or commenting or nothing like that. Like, it took me a long time. Like, it took me like 3 years to get a little engagement. 3 years just for a little engagement. Alright, so back to what I was saying, man. You gotta, don't expect nobody to give you any handouts. Oh yeah, I gotta do this turn real quick. Okay? Don't expect nobody to give you no handouts. Don't expect nobody to do nothing for you. Because at the end of the day, you gotta remember where they started at. The people that you reaching out to, you gotta remember where they started. They started where you at. They started with no following, no subscribers. They started with no attention. Nobody was giving them a shot. Nobody was putting them on any platform. Nobody was giving them any opportunity. So you gotta remember that too. Don't think that it's just you, because it's not. Everybody start like that. Everybody start from zero. Everybody starts with nothing. You start with an idea. You start with an idea, right? Then when you get that idea, you start manifesting and transforming that idea into real life. Then you start putting yourself in position to where your idea will benefit you, to where other people will be on board with your idea. And they're not gonna be on board all the time, but at least you're bringing that idea into reality. You know what I'm saying? But back to what I was saying though about starting from zero and things like that, yo. Just remember that on this journey, it's gonna be a lot of ups and downs. And this sound kind of cliche, you know, this sound kind of like generic, but hey, that's the truth. In the beginning, that's the hardest part of the journey. The beginning is where you gotta build. The beginning is where you trying to figure things out. The beginning is where you trying to, you know, avoid your mistakes. Make sure you're doing the right thing. Make sure you got the right people around you. That's always in the beginning. Then as you grow, things get better. As you grow and your circle becomes smaller and you start gaining more knowledge, you start honing in on your craft, getting better, you feel me? That's when things are gonna start coming together. But there's no time frame where you'll figure it out. There's no time frame where everything will come together. You know what I mean? It might take a long time, and for others it might be instant. But that's the process. All right, man. That's all I wanted to share with y'all. Just a little advice. That's all. Just letting y'all know y'all not alone. I'm still going through it to this day. I'm trying to figure it out. Y'all know we have 555 subs. Of course, we on the road to 1,000. But even when we get to 1,000, we gonna strive for 2,000 and 3,000. So when we reach 1,000, that's just the beginning. Another thing, another gem I want to give y'all. If you asking people for advice that have never been in your shoes, that have no idea of what you're trying to do or have no experience in your field, if you're asking advice and people have no idea what you're talking about, or they have to search on Google, yo, don't listen to those people. It could be family. It could be somebody you always take advice from. But why would you ask somebody how to make $1 million if they never made a meal? Heck, if they never made 100,000, even 1,000, why would you ask somebody how to do it if they never did it? Why would you ask somebody how to grow on YouTube when they don't even have a YouTube? Or if they do have a YouTube, they're not consistent. So you gotta be aware of who you're asking questions. You gotta be aware of what you're asking people. You know, do they have that experience? Do they have that knowledge? You gotta ask, you know, you gotta ask yourself these questions while you're asking other people questions. You get what I'm saying? So you can get a non-biased answer. Like, you don't want to ask somebody a question, they go on YouTube and they be like, well, Google says, or Safari says, you can do this. Nah, like, that's not always right. You gotta ask somebody who's doing it. You gotta ask somebody that's experienced, who's already out there getting their hands dirty. You feel me? But it's your boy Shy Phase. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video, and y'all stay locked in. Bang! Just went to the store and I got me some panties.